TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Do you remember wrestling a young Terry Allen before he became Magnum TA?
Yeah.
In '82?
I met the guy, I think it was from Norfolk, and I met him in Norfolk, and he came up to me, and I was just watching the matches. I gave him a handshake, and he like this, and he had a good grip, and he told me he was an amateur champion and all that, and he wanted to break into business. I said, well, you got a good grip, you need to go talk to Gene Anderson. And Gene, I think, was there that night, so I actually pushed him towards Gene, and so I helped him get started. But his big days didn't come till after I was already in New York. And then he had that horrible accident, so he's still around, right?
Yeah.
I see him when I go to Charlotte. I didn't go this year, but they have the gathering there with autographs and everything, and I didn't go this year because my wife's birthday fell on the same day, so he always shows up, and he's got this little machine that he does get up and walk too. But that was a terrible accident. He's lucky to be alive.
Do you remember the impact and the outcome of that? Because I remember when it happened, it felt like everything for the NWA. It didn't really collapse, but it completely changed what they were. They were
grooming him to be the world champion, and so it was devastating, and they had their struggles, you know. And I think Dusty was the booker then. So Dusty was pushing him big time.
You helped him kind of elevate, and get him started. That's
I introduced him to Gene, and that started it, He gave me that grip. I said, well, you got a hell of a grip. So that's a good way to get started. So after that, I was in WCW and didn't really enjoy WC. Jimmy Crockett ran me in there and then brought me in there, and then he ended up leaving, trying to do his own thing out there in Dallas. And so I had my main guy left, so I had to deal with Dusty Rhodes. And I always had a good rapport with Dusty Rhodes, but he never would give me the strong push that I deserved. So he put me with Terry Taylor, tag team champions, but me coming off that New York tape, they could have pushed me a lot bigger. It's just like,
TitleMatchNetwork.com.